doesn't ever say, oh golly gee whiz, it might kind of sort of like be this, if as when come and maybe. It says this is it. What is the promise? That you will have a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps if you follow the directions carefully. And that's the directions in the big book. Not in the 12 and 12, because it doesn't have any directions. Not from any stray forms that may be floating around out there that were put together by various people who didn't know what the hell they were doing. But right from the book. And when we do that, we will have a spiritual awakening. If that's what you want, and you haven't been doing it so far, get the big book, find somebody who knows what's in there, and work steps. Because it's telling us the truth. We're going to have this spiritual awakening as a result of working the steps. Now it goes beyond that, doesn't it? Because we have worked the steps and we have had a spiritual awakening, we will now be empowered to carry this message to other alcoholics. Now actually that's a narrowing of our prospects for service, isn't it? Because nowhere else in the big book are we limited in carrying the message solely to alcoholics. We don't own the 12 steps. We got no patent on them. These steps are the product of centuries upon centuries of human development, human understanding, and spiritual and religious writings and thinking and teaching. These are the great spiritual principles that have been around forever. But in our program they're reduced to steps of action, which means quite simply that if we do the work, if we follow directions, if we take these steps and incorporate them into our lives, we also incorporate these great spiritual principles into our lives. They become the way we live our life. We no longer have to wonder how to be spiritual. All we have to know is how to do the work. And so we're not limiting ourselves in carrying the message. The 12 steps are for everyone. They work for everyone. They are universal in their application. It so happens that it's the one way that we found to be freed from alcoholism. Wonderful news. They never fail us. Never. But we have to do the work.